Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Good Tuesday afternoon. Some rain and thunder, some gusty winds. The rain is moving out, strong winds moving in.
3 men impersonate police officers as they barge into this house through that side door, all covered in black, force a family down, all while a 5-year-old is inside.
But first, we are following breaking news this afternoon. WikiLeaks posts documents that it says are from the CIA, potentially exposing closely guarded cyber weapons. WikiLeaks started posting the alleged government documents online this morning. The reports contain information. The documents contain information used by the CIA to break into smartphones, computers, and even TVs. WikiLeaks saying that the nearly 8,000-page leak was only a portion of what they now have, and at this time, it's unclear if the documents are actually from the CIA. They're currently being reviewed by government agents. And we're also following breaking news of another wave of bomb threats against Jewish community centers. The newest wave of threats has forced evacuations in several states, including New York, Florida, Wisconsin, and Illinois. The Anti-Defamation League has also received threats at a number of its offices nationwide. And at this point, no injuries have been reported, and most of the centers have been cleared. Federal authorities continue to investigate. And we're also following breaking news here at home as a Detroit man accused of plotting a terrorist attack is expected to enter a plea deal instead of going to trial. This is 30-year-old Sebastian Gregerson. He was arrested for buying grenades from an undercover FBI agent last year. He was expected to stand trial in May, but will now appear in court on March 30th, and that'll be for a plea hearing. This afternoon, Detroit detectives are trying to figure out who kicked their way into a home pretending to be police officers. This happened on Detroit's west side just before 5 a.m. Local 4's Nick Monticelli has been there all morning long following this story for us. Nick, what are police working on now? Do we know exactly who they're looking for?
They don't, and that's part of the problem, but they are trying to piece together some parts of the evidence they got inside of this home and hopefully some tips from people in the area, maybe even somebody with a security camera that may have seen these 3 going away. But these 3 kicked and barged their way inside of this home on the west side through that door, all wearing masks and wearing all black, and again, saying they were police officers before getting inside and forcing the family down.
Seems kind of scary because I've never been in any situation like that before, but it is.
Eliseo Hernandez lives right next to the house where 3 people busted in pretending to be police officers. It happened just before 5 a.m. on Mattettle Street near Warren and the Southfield Freeway. Police say the men were dressed completely in black and were wearing masks. They kicked in the side door and rushed into a bedroom where a boyfriend and girlfriend were sleeping and forced them onto the ground.
First, they told them lay down on the ground, face down, and after that, they lifted them up, told them lay on the bed, put the willow above your head, and they shot him twice in the back.
That man, a 35-year-old, was rushed to the hospital and is in stable condition. To make matters worse, a 5-year-old boy was in the bedroom next door. He is fine, and his mom took him out of the home so relatives could watch him. What's interesting, though, is that investigators do not believe this is a random home invasion and robbery. They think something personal set this off, although they say a large amount of money was stolen. Either way, the 3 men did impersonate officers, which will make their punishment even worse when caught.
Of course, that's very bad when somebody, trusts the police and somebody knows he's the police. That's very, look bad.
And when we say make their punishment even worse, because they were impersonating officers during the commission of another crime here, that becomes an automatic felony. So again, if you saw anything or think you may have saw something, or if you're a business or a homeowner with a camera that may have seen these guys running out of the area, please call the Detroit Police or Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-800-SPEAK-UP. We're live on Detroit's west side. Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
All righty, hopefully somebody has information. Nick, thank you. Right now we want to get to a developing story that we're following out of Trenton this afternoon. Police there investigating a break-in at a drugstore. They say that thieves managed to remove safety glass and got inside of this West Grange Pharmacy right there on West Road near Allen Road. Police tell Local 4 the thieves got away with a number of prescription narcotics. Investigators hope to get more information from security video, and of course, we're going to continue to follow this developing story. Michigan Governor Rick Snyder is in Flint today, headlining the Water Infrastructure Conference. He's going to join Flint Mayor Karen Weaver as co-chair of the conference. The goal of the event is to highlight water issues that are still surrounding the city, as well as share lessons learned from the crisis and discuss ways to improve the aging waterworks infrastructure. Now, this 3-day conference, the purpose of it, it's expected to start at 1:30. We're going to have an update for you on Local 4 News at 5 o'clock. And we also hope that you join us tomorrow. Join us for our 1-hour special from Flint. It's called Failure in Flint, The Crisis Continues. And it explores the challenges that the community is still facing on the investigation, as well as who is to blame. We do want to invite you to join Devin Skillian and Kimberly Gill in Flint. That is tomorrow at 8 p.m. and you can only watch it right here on Local 4. Well, the cloud of controversy involving possible Russian interference in last year's election is hanging over hearings to confirm the nominee for Deputy Attorney General. Last week, Attorney General Jeff Sessions recused himself from any investigation that might involve the Trump campaign. Today, Deputy Attorney General nominee Rod Rosenstein said that he is not aware of any requirement for him to recuse himself. Democrats in Congress want a special prosecutor to investigate the allegations. The Trump administration is making moves that might increase tensions on the Korean Peninsula. The first elements of an American missile defense system have arrived in South Korea. The system is designed to intercept and destroy short and medium-range ballistic missiles. The delivery comes days after North Korea test-fired 4 ballistic missiles that landed in the ocean. The government of China has responded quickly and angrily to the development, saying that it will take necessary measures to defend itself, adding the U.S. and South Korea must bear the consequences of the arms buildup. Well, today, House Republicans are going to start day 1 of pushing their new health care plan with support from President Trump. The American Health Care Act would effectively replace Obamacare if it is in fact passed. But as NBC's Blaine Alexander explains, they have a fight ahead of them as Democrats work to protect former President Obama's signature policy.
This morning, Republicans delivering on a promise nearly 7 years in the making.
Provide relief to Americans from the taxes, the mandates, the penalties, all that goes with Obamacare.
In a plan rolled out online, Republicans introduced the American Health Care Act, their replacement for Obamacare. President Trump tweeted his approval, adding, quote, "Time to end this nightmare." Democrats are already gearing up for a battle.
We will fight tooth and nail to make sure that people who now have insurance under the Affordable Care Act will maintain that insurance.
How does this stack up against Obamacare? Under the new plan, there's no longer a mandate for people to get covered and no fine. And what stays? Coverage for people with pre-existing conditions. And children can still stay on their parents' insurance until age 26. Still unknown how much this will cost.
Oh, no, we will know what it costs before they vote on it.
Today, Republicans signaling this may not be the final version, and some Republicans, both moderate and conservative, are not completely sold. And there's still concern among many Americans, as made evident in recent town halls. Senator Rand Paul says the president tried to sell the plan to him personally.
I think he's open to discussion. He didn't say take it or leave it.
The next step, selling the plan on Capitol Hill. And in a couple of tweets this morning, the president himself signaled what he might change, getting rid of state lines and lowering drug prices. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
Right now, we want to take a turn and talk about the forecast. Other than a little bit of rain this morning, we've been pretty lucky in avoiding any crazy weather. Unfortunately, Brandon, there are other parts of the country not as fortunate.
Part of the same system that brought the rain and thunder here this morning was much worse to the west of us over the last 24 hours. So far, 2 tornadoes have been confirmed touching down in Missouri overnight. Straight line winds as well, heavy rain and hail hit the Kansas City area, destroying at least 20 homes in the path of one of these tornadoes, and at least 10 people have been reported injured because of these storms. Although luckily none of those injuries are reported to be serious right now. The majority of the community is without power, and crews are working to clear the debris throughout the city. of Kansas City. That was one of 30-plus tornado reports that happened throughout the Midwest before it came here and sort of fizzled out. We did have a little bit of thunder this morning, but that too fizzled out, and for most of us, just plain rain. 58 degrees out there right now and cloudy. Still a couple of drips and drops to go. Southwest winds at 23. Here's a look at some of the showers hugging the east side here, right over the Detroit River, downriver into southern Ontario, and just a little bit of moisture out near Jackson that could still work through. So over the next couple of hours, may still get some drips and drizzle. By 2, 3 o'clock, starting to see a little more sunshine. Temperatures are going the wrong direction here, though, down into the lower 50s by the afternoon, thanks to this cold front that is coming through. It also, though, is the responsible party for clearing out the skies after 2 or 3 o'clock. Coming up, we'll talk about a high wind watch already issued for our area for Wednesday.
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Still to come here at noon, we're talking about the death of a legend. A coroner has determined what killed singer George Michael. We'll tell you his official cause of death coming up. Plus, tumultuous ties. Relations between North Korea and Malaysia are unraveling. We've got the reason for you coming up next.
All right, so the excitement is building. We're coming to the end of our Get Fit for Good challenge. And we're going to have the totals of weight that our ambassadors actually lost. And it's impressive.
My wife.
Welcome back, everyone. We are following breaking news right now from China. That's where the ZTE Corporation has announced it's agreed to pay the U.S. $892 million for selling U.S. technology to Iran. The company's agreement with the Department of Justice will now head to a United States District Court for approval. Meanwhile, tension between North Korea and Malaysia continues to run high as the two nations are still at odds over the death of Kim Jong-nam. The half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un was killed in a Malaysian airport last month. Since then, Malaysian authorities have charged 2 North Korean women with murder and have not released the body. In response, North Korea has banned any Malaysian citizens from leaving the country. Malaysia has since banned all North Koreans from leaving as well. Well, a coroner has officially determined what killed singer George Michael. You might remember he was found dead in his home on Christmas Day. And today, it was announced that he died of natural causes. The coroner found Michael was suffering from heart disease and a fatty liver when he died. He was 53 years old. He will still be missed. Still to come, we're talking about Tasty Tuesday, the recipe's a family secret. And still ahead, we'll introduce you to this mother-daughter duo churning out cheesecakes with some very unique flavors, Brandon.
We need something sweet on a day like today. It's been a little cloudy, a little gloomy, but wind of change. We talk about that a lot. This is not the good kind. A high wind watch. We'll discuss it next.
People come.
Welcome back. Good Tuesday afternoon. Temperature still in the 50s. Average is about 40, so we're doing well here. Winds 15 to 25. They'll be pesky throughout the rest of the afternoon, maybe even early evening. As the sun goes down, the winds will relax, at least for now. But temporarily, not only 15 to 25 mile an hour sustained winds, we're getting some gusts. Look at Metro Airport, a southwest gust of 36 miles an hour. That's enough to shake the garbage cans around the neighborhood a little bit. Livingston County and Howell, a 33 mile an hour wind gust. And you notice the arrows here show what direction the wind is blowing, from southeast or from southwest to northeast. So we call them southwest winds. In Lansing, however, it's more of a westerly wind. We have a cold front coming through, changes the direction up a little bit. Weather Service has already issued a high wind watch for your Wednesday. This will be going on all day tomorrow, where we could have 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts, and power outage problems. Certainly makes it more difficult traveling, whether it be by car or if you're flying tomorrow. Whew, man, 50s for the next several hours and probably even into the evening, but upper 50s falling into the low 50s. Showers ending over the next couple of hours as well, and after 2 o'clock we get into some sunshine. Clear overnight, 35. Behind this cool front, it is a little bit cooler, no doubt about it. Here's a look at some of the rain showers we're seeing moving into southern Ontario over Lake St. Clair, and still have this last little batch over I-69 through Jackson County that will come through. There's the cold front. You can see behind it, it is a lot more stable or calm. So once that cold front barrels through, again, the winds start to relax this evening temporarily, and then they will be cranking tomorrow. Not storm related, just a atmospheric setup that has the winds funneling in here really strong throughout the day. Here at the lunch hour, the models are calling for maybe a little flurry or flake, an isolated snow shower up in the Thumb region tomorrow afternoon. We'll have to wait and see about that, but most of us are going to see sunshine. It will be on the cooler side throughout the day tomorrow, but the wind will steal the weather headlines. Another cold front comes your way on Thursday. Chance for a couple of late day showers, but no doubt it will cool us heading Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well below normal. Don't forget to set your clocks forward Saturday night. Superman, Purple Rain, and a taste of heaven. Just a few of the 50 flavors of cakes from Lucky's Cheesecake. It's a mother-daughter duo creating a menu every vegan and diabetic can enjoy too.
It's a mother and it's a daughter that's in the kitchen, and we just are so creative.
Rhonda Morris and her daughter dabbled in cakes as a hobby 11 years ago and now have a storefront on McNichols near Livernois.
Right now what's hot is the strawberry shortcake, the banana pudding, and oh man, the Superman.
Superman cheesecake, as stimulating to the eye as it is to the taste buds.
I'm not going to tell you our secret, but when you taste it, you'll be able to taste all 3 of the flavors.
So it's going to be like that. Lucky's does 50 flavors of cakes, cobblers, and cheesecake from Oreo, red velvet, apple caramel, and strawberry crunch. It's thick and creamy, topped with that crunch. Come on, Rhonda, what's in the crunch?
That's the secret, because everybody can't make that crunch.
Lucky's likes layers, adding ice cream to the menu.
We do a banana pudding and, of course, Superman.
A fresh complement to a slice of cake or cobbler.
And it's all homemade.
If you ask the staff at Lucky's whether their cheesecake is as good as your mother's, even their answer exceeds expectations and satisfies.
I can't make it as good as your mother, but you would think that your mother taught me.
How do you like that answer? Love it. Lucky's is offering a special to get you in there to try today. It's $1 off a slice of cake or cheesecake. You have to mention Tasty Tuesday, and it is today only. They're located again West McNichols near Livernois on Detroit's west side.
Oh, and their cake is absolutely delicious. So to come, convincing the cops. A college student convinces police that he isn't under the influence. But wait till you find out what he did that not only got him out of trouble, but also a pat on the back.
Replay song.
Okay, so finally here at noon, check out this college student in Arkansas who convinced police that he was not drunk, was not drinking and driving. All he had to do was juggle some bowling pins, right?
How could he be if he could do this? Officers said they pulled over Blake Puckett because he was driving slow, had a busted taillight. Puckett was desperate to show cops that he was not drinking or drunk, so he started to juggle to prove his point.
Yeah, and the cops said that they realized pretty quickly that he was in fact sober, but they still let him go forward with the juggling because, well,
that's just
why
cool.
not?
Behind the back there?
Oh.
Over the shoulder? He's bouncing him on his forehead?
No, you're a juggler. Could you do that?
No.
Not with the bowling pins?
I mean, who drives around with bowling pins in their car?
A juggler. Great day.
I'm just a hack.